Should empaths become stoic? My name is Vital Germain. I'm a keynote speaker. I'm a 7-time author, including the book, The Empath Way. I'm also a life coach. Any of these topics that I share with you, if you want to do deeper dives, you can either read the book, take the online course of The Empath Way, or you can connect with me and see if I have availability in terms of coaching. I want to break down how stoicism can benefit the empath, but the objective is not to become stoic. Why? As you listen to this podcast rant edition, please share your thoughts. It's all about empowering the community by exchanging ideas and exchanging perspectives. It enhances our experience. Well, let's break down what stoicism really means. It's based on 4 fundamental pillars, but the short version of stoicism basically is an emotional detachment, meaning you are not attached to the outcome. And for the empath, this is really hard because we are highly sensitive beings. And if we disconnect emotionally to things that happen, to things that are said, to things that are done, we dishonor the essence of who we are. Sentient beings. All humans are sentient beings, but the empath has a heightened level of sensitivity, of emotional awareness. And the stoic objective is through dissociation from our emotions and external events, we can handle life much more easily. The 4 tenets of stoicism are justice, courage, wisdom, and temperance. Justice is a beautiful thing. We should always keep standing up for justice. We live by a high honor code which compels us to be just, which compels us to somewhat stand up for justice. In terms of courage, this can be a challenge for the empath. It takes great courage to own your empathy. It takes great courage to not hide your light from the world. It takes great courage to not play small. So courage is a challenge. However, we are very courageous to navigate a very insensitive world with our sensitivity. So we are courageous. There's a bit of a conflict there. In terms of wisdom, I romantically believe that due to the empath INFJ sensitivity, we have an innate sense of knowing. You can call it being psychic. You can call it being highly intuitive. You can call it being connected to a higher source that shares worldly universal knowledge. Either way, we are in tune with our surroundings, and we do have this sense of knowing without knowing. And so that's the level of wisdom. Then there's the level of wisdom that we add to this innate ability to somewhat understand and grasp the world in terms of morality, in terms of the past, in terms of pattern recognition, which helps us understand where the future is heading. But there's also the learned, the academic wisdom. But knowledge isn't wisdom, right? So just simply knowing is knowledge. It's knowing how to apply the knowledge that becomes wisdom. And most empaths, most INFJs are what's considered or called old souls. They've been here before. They subconsciously bring that past life experience to this realm. But we're not directly connected to it. It's a part of our subconscious innate knowing. And then you've got temperance. This is potentially the one that is the biggest challenge for the empath. Temperance is a level of self-control, which again goes back to the emotions. Not necessarily self-control as in a discipline to be consistent in chosen behaviors, but self-control in the way that we respond and react to narcissist abuse. So for example, if you were very stoic, you would take absolutely nothing that the narcissist has done to you. You would not take it personally. It would not bother you because you would have emotionally disconnected from their actions. And it's empowering. But while that is empowering, becoming emotionally numb negates the essence of who you are again. So ultimately, this is the conclusion with Stoicism. By the way, before I share my ultimate conclusion, let me know your thoughts. Are you a Stoic? Have you practiced Stoicism? Has it brought you value? Has it challenged and been a conflict because you're an empath and you want to become more Stoic? Let me know your feedback, your opinions on Stoicism. And for those of you who may be not so familiar with Stoicism, you might have heard of Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, who is basically the godfather, so to speak, of Stoicism. But he was a good man. He was a good emperor. But he understood, and this is leading into my final conclusion about Stoicism, he was able to leverage the qualities of Stoicism while being all the beautiful things, just and kind. He was able to be ruthless when necessary. So that's the part of Stoicism that the empath needs to embrace. Do not disconnect from your beautiful, kind, empathetic, sensitive soul. However, when necessary, for your own well-being, for the protection of your heart, of your emotions, of your spirit, when life becomes emotionally overwhelming, that's the time to wear the Stoic hat and have the ability, when necessary, to emotionally disconnect from your emotions. There are times when we must emotionally disconnect from our emotions, hence the philosophy of Stoicism. Other than that, remain the beautiful, kind, sensitive, humane human being that you are. Thank you for listening.